All right, so the Lakers win the NBA Finals. They win this game 106-93. They were led by LeBron James, triple double, 28 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. 80 gave them 19 points. And playoff Rondo returned. He gave them 19 points on 8 of 11 shooting. And on the Miami side, it was really a blowout for the entire game. Baum gave them 25 points. Jimmy's just exhausted. He couldn't do it again tonight. So I mean, Taj, you use a Lakers hater. You use CM1.
I'm not a Laker hater, bro.
He got that dog in
I'm
him.
not a Laker hater.
LeBron James old.
I'm not a Laker hater, bro.
Not we're laughing and kikiing. What's the problem now?
First of all, I'm not a Laker hater. Actually, I don't mind the Lakers. I don't pull for the Lakers because I'm a Celtics fan. That does not make me a hater. That makes me a fan of one specific team, which you guys would not know about. You guys would not know about that because y'all been pulling for 3 different teams in the past 6 years. But we can get to that later. This finals, I don't even know why people even shocked. But the Lakers were supposed to sweep the Miami Heat. They let the Miami Heat get 2 games. They killed the Vegas odds. Caused a lot of people in Vegas to lose their money because they let Heat get 2 games. This Heat team wasn't ready, bro. You got Dragic out, their leading scorer the entire playoffs. You got Bamo, their second leading scorer the entire playoffs. A guy that led them in points, rebounds, assists, and steals in the Eastern Conference Finals. Their biggest defensive player. Those 2 guys out basically the entire series, and this series go to 6 games. I don't even know why people is shocked. Like, who were the Lakers playing? You playing Jimmy Butler, not even a top 10 player in the NBA. Some people wouldn't even have him top 15, and you're playing Tyler Hero. Like I don't even know what is there. I don't even know why people carrying on like we didn't know what was about to happen. Truth is, this should have been over in 4 games. I don't know why the Lakers let it get to 6. But if we just talking about this specific game, like you say, Jimmy was exhausted. This guy been playing 46 minutes a night the entire finals. Like that's not realistic. You can't expect a single man to do that and give you heroic performances. That is not realistic. And you haven't gotten Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Both those guys have minimum 4 inches on. He's exhausted. Yes, he's been putting up 35 and 40 points, but he's going to be exhausted at one point. Tyler Hero, I've been telling you about Tyler Hero. This guy had one good game in Eastern Conference Finals, and he came into this NBA Finals, and he couldn't throw a ball in the ocean. I've been telling you guys, pressure, burst pipe. In the Eastern Conference Finals, there wasn't no pressure. There's no fans. That's why you see these rookies, they're balling out. You see these young players, they're balling out. There's no fans in the bubble. They're not traveling on road games. But now, even though you're still in the bubble, it's still the NBA Finals. You're going up against LeBron James and Anthony Davis, two of the top 4 players in the world at this particular moment. You're going to feel a lot of pressure now. You wasn't feeling the Eastern Conference Finals because the other superstar was who? Jason Tatum. This guy is 22 years old. He hasn't won a ring. Kemba Walker, this guy barely got out of the first round in Charlotte. He hasn't done it in Charlotte at all. So you're not going to feel that pressure. But now you're going up against Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You're going to feel that pressure. So I don't even think the Heat should have been in this situation. Anyone that had this Heat team going to the finals if the season had not paused. If you had this Heat team going to the finals, you got to be a fool. This Heat team is not getting past Milwaukee, going on the road to travel to Milwaukee. They was not getting past Boston, going on the road, traveling to Boston. They was not doing that. The fact of the matter is, they had a situation in the bubble where they didn't have any pressure on them really because they're not traveling road games. And then like this is a young and inexperienced team. So in my situation, they shouldn't have been there anyway. And the fact that their best players got injured, I don't even know what we expect. Like what you guys expect. Of course, as soon as they got past the Celtics, I'm like, it's the Lakers finals. Like, come on.
Go ahead, Matt.
Now, first off, Tyler Hero hit 5 game winners in the regular season, overtime game winners, had a bunch of 20 points. He was averaging 17 points in the playoffs. Yeah, he had one great game, but he had a bunch of good games, first off. And everybody had the same bubble experience. So the Heat had the same experience as everybody else. So you can't use that excuse. Boston could have won. They didn't win. And the Lakers, yeah, they're supposed to win. But I still pick the Heat to go to the finals because they're still beating Milwaukee because Giannis can't shoot. They're still going to beat Milwaukee. It happened last year with Kawhi. They're still beating Milwaukee. Celtics are still going to choke. If the Heat's going to make the finals, they're going to lose to the Lakers. It should have gone 7 games. They didn't play hard this game. They didn't defend well. They didn't put a hand up. They didn't throw nobody on the ground. Rondo should have been on the ground with a broken hip. LeBron should have had his face knocked out in the 4th quarter so they could win the game. Sacrifice one of your guys to get ejected and win the game. Hurt, kick somebody out, kill somebody on the other team, and win the game. They didn't win the game. That's on them. But they should have won this game and lost in the 7th game.
Yeah, a couple of points. I feel like the Lakers they should have won it in 5. I picked them in 6 games, but after I watched the first 2 games, I was like, okay, they probably could beat the Heat in 5 games or 4 games. But then I was Jimmy Butler. He won them those 2 games, and that was surprised me. But tonight, the Lakers, they came when they said we're the better team. And playoff Rondo, these guys, you was talking, Tosh, you was talking about the Lakers. There's just the New Orleans Pelicans in LA. There's a bunch of old dudes. What happened? All the old dudes come through playoff.
Wait. What? When did I say that? What are you talking about?
You
How did you even get New Orleans with this Lakers team, bro? It doesn't connect. What are you talking about?
He's right. It's just the LeBron James effect.
What Pelicans? Like what?
No, you
Pelicans.
This the Pelicans LA style. That's what you said. You said this the Pelicans LA version. That's what you said. Don't deny it now. That's what you said. Now,
who was on the Pelicans?
Come on, bro.
What are you talking about?
Bro, that's what you said at the beginning of the season. This just
does not even make sense.
Come on.
How does the Pelicans connect to the Lakers, bro? Tell me how.
Bro, I don't know. That's what you say. And me,
bro. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. All right, you guys. I understand you guys won, but that's not make up stuff. That's not make up stuff. I understand you guys won. That's not make up stuff, bro. That's not make up stuff.
That's what you say. And now you was getting off about KCP all season talking about KCP guys, this and that. What KCP doing this finals? He ball out. KCP ball out this playoff. Y'all getting off on all these players. Come on now. Let's give these guys a little respect. And you just gotta admit you were wrong. Like, that's all I ask him. Like, just say you was wrong about this Lakers team. You laughing and kiki and like, come on. Give these guys their props. They played good. And
I don't believe that this Lakers team beat the Clippers. I do think the bubble had an effect on come on, guys. I know everyone wants to say everybody's in the bubble, but the bubble affects more teams. If you're an inexperienced team, you have a completely better chance in the bubble. Let's just keep it 100. And then if you have a team that's not mentally strong, you have a team that's not together, they're gonna have a better chance in the bubble. If come on, like let's be realistic. If we are playing pickup, it's the reason why you watch the pickup games with the NBA players, and you usually see the guys who are not the big faces. They ball out.
There's no pressure. What happens if they lose?
Exactly.
What happens if they lose the game? No matter bubble or no bubble, there's no pressure. If there's 1 million fans, if they lose the game, what are they doing? They're going home, checking their bank account, and seeing $1 million. So, okay, they lose the basketball game. They're still making millions, so there's zero pressure. It's a basketball game. It's not life or death. Your life is not on the line. You're going to go home to your wife and your kids or your friends and check your bank account with your millions of dollars and spend your millions of dollars. You're not going to care about a basketball game you lost in 5 years. You're going to see your bank account and check the millions of dollars. No pressure. That's all it is.
What does that have to do with you playing the game? What does that have to do with you playing the game?
If I'm making $1 million,
you're telling me these NBA guys do not feel pressure. Bro, have you ever been in any sports? I don't care what age you are, you are going to feel pressure in playoff games. No, I don't care what age. You could be playing Little League.
If I lose the game, I'm going to go home, eat some chocolate cake, and then go outside and play basketball and wake up the next day and do it again. Nothing is going to – I just play basketball.
No, that's for guys that don't care if they win or lose. I want to respect these NBA players and
they care if they win or lose.
Don't care about that mindset.
There's no pressure for them to win or lose.
I'm pretty sure we have seen LeBron James says his NBA Finals loss in 2011. He just said it 2 weeks ago. He says our Finals loss still haunts him. That is 9 years ago. He's won 4 rings since then, and he says that still haunts him. These guys care. These guys feel pressure.
LeBron doesn't feel pressure. They should not feel pressure. They're making millions. You know how many people would kill to just be able to throw a ball in the hoop, miss? If they make or miss, they're still making $1 million. So many people would love that. So there should be zero pressure playing basketball, no matter what the situation.
I don't care. I don't care if you have $1 billion. If you were playing the game, the game of this magnitude, you're going to feel pressure.
No,
you're going to feel pressure because you care. Pressure is just caring. That has nothing to do with how much money you have. You live in the moment. You don't play a basketball game. You don't play a basketball game and say, "Oh, I don't care if I lose. I have money in the bank account." I don't think these NBA guys think like that. I have respect for them. I believe they actually care about the game. When
They
you care,
should,
you're going to feel
but it shouldn't
pressure.
be pressure. I play pickup basketball and I give 110% effort. But I don't. If I lose, okay, cool. I lost a basketball game. I know I gave all my effort and I lost. Game over. I'll do the same effort.
What is the stakes for you? What is the stakes for you?
The stakes don't matter as long as I know I gave 110% effort. If I win or lose, I left it all out there. It's like Jimmy Butler. He did that game 3. He did that game 5. He left it all out there. If they had lost that game, he's like, I gave it all I had. I got nothing left. We lost. That's all he would say.
But bro, two things can be true. Two things can be true. You can give it all. You can give it your all, and you can still feel pressure at the same time. Two things can be true. Just because you give it your all doesn't mean you didn't feel pressure. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler felt pressure. He said it themselves. They felt pressured after going down 0-2. He said it themselves. They felt the pressure after going. What Jimmy Butler said after they went down 0-2. He said these guys were feeling pressure. He said it. The team leader said it. He said it.
Of course, because he played bad the first 2 games. Of course, you're gonna feel something if you know you was asked the first 2 games. If he played good the first 2 games, he wouldn't feel pressure. He's like, I gave it my all. I'm gonna do the same thing, win or lose.
Pressure has nothing to do with whether you're playing good.
Let me get inside that. There's a couple of points about the bubble. I don't agree about the whole bubble situation because every team had some advantage and some disadvantage from the bubble. Like just from the Lakers standpoint, they lose home court advantage throughout the whole all the playoff stretch. Like they supposed to have home court advantage in every season. They weren't going to beat the Lakers regardless. And just everybody was in the same situation, everybody same circumstances. So no, some teams was at a disadvantage. But it was all
beat the Nuggets.
What you guys are not understanding is, I understand that everybody's in the same circumstance, but what you have to understand, it affects people differently. What is going to affect LeBron James is not going to affect a rookie. What is going to affect LeBron James is not going to affect somebody does not won their ring before. What is going to affect those players is not going to affect LeBron. What is going to affect a veteran team is not going to affect one team. Every team reacts differently to a situation. Every player reacts differently to a situation. Yes, the situation is the same, but not everybody reacts the same to it.
They don't change the rules for certain people. That's because you're a rookie. The rules are the same. You still put the ball in the basket. You still do the same crossover. The rules don't change. So whatever you were doing before, if it worked, do the same thing. The game don't change. It's the same.
If you don't think, if you don't think there's a difference of playing in front, if you don't think there's a difference in playing in front of 0 fans versus you playing in somebody else's stadium with 50,000 fans cheering against you, if you don't think that's a difference, bro, I don't know.
You're making millions. You should not care what a person making $100,000 is yelling at you when you're making millions. You making $10 an hour, you making $800,000 a game. You shouldn't care what they're saying to you. They don't know you. They're worthless. They don't make no money. You're making $10,000. You're making so much more money than them. Their opinion of you should not matter. So whatever they're yelling at you should not affect you. Just tell them to shut the hell up. I make millions. You don't, and win and play basketball. It's that simple. They mean nothing.
Bro, you live in a fantasy, bro. I don't know. You're speaking of a fantasy world. You're speaking of a fantasy world in which these guys are not humans. These guys are humans. They have feelings. Things affect them. You don't. If you don't think maybe it doesn't affect LeBron James because
no, shit shouldn't affect them. You the best player to ever play this basketball, LeBron James. Who cares what Bob in the fifth row says to you? He go home.
Bro, did you not hear what I just said? Did you not hear what I just said? I said, yes, you may have a situation where it does not affect LeBron, but it's going to affect rookies if they're playing in the NBA playoff game against another team in another city with 50,000 fans cheering against them. I don't think that's out of the realm of. I don't think that's something hard to comprehend.
No, because it shouldn't affect them. I'm 19 making $5 million and you're 50 working 5 jobs just to come to this one game. Why do you care?
Bro, what does that have to do with the game, bro? What does somebody what does that have to do with anything?
Because they shouldn't affect.
What is bro? I'm not. Anyway, continue with now.
What you say to me does not matter. That's exactly the mindset they need to have. Because you're 19 making more than most people ever make. So what they say to you should not matter.
All right,
Bro, it's the pressure on.
You can say the word and have them kicked out.
All right, so we got to end the call. Thank you, Matt, for joining us. And we talked about the Lakers just won the NBA Finals. And thank you.